2-6, dividing real numbers. Reciprocals. Reciprocals are two numbers that when you multiply them, you get 1. So, reciprocals, you multiply them, you get 1. 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 2, 6. That's 1. 2 and 1/2 are reciprocals. Put the 2 over 1, multiply, top times top, you get 2 over 2, 1. 4 times 3, 12. 3 times 4, 12. That's 1. Reciprocals. Two things, multiply to get 1. Now, reciprocal is also called multiplicative inverse. So the reciprocal of A would be 1 over A. Just like the reciprocal of 3 would be 1 over 3. The reciprocal of 5 would be 1 over 5. The reciprocal of x would be 1 over x. They're reciprocals. Also, multiplicative inverses. The multiplicative inverse of A would be 1 over A. The multiplicative inverse of 3 would be 1 over 3, and so on. Okay, try these. Find the multiplicative inverse. Turn it back on when you're done. Here's your answers. Now, this is what we call the division rule. It says if you have two numbers and they're not 0, that A divided by B is the same as A times the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse of B. So let's see if that really works for numbers. So let's put 6 divided by 2, and let's see if that's equal to 6 times 1/2. Well, 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 6 over 1 times 1 over 2, top times top, bottom times bottom, that's 6 over 2, which is 3. So those are the same. What it's saying is you can multiply by a number, divide by a number, and then multiply by its reciprocal and get the same answer. So if you had 8 divided by 4, that's the same as 8 times 1/4. Both of those give you 2. So dividing by 4 and multiplying by 1/4 are the same. You've seen this rule before. When you were taught to divide fractions, you were taught to flip the second one and multiply. What you were really doing was multiplying by the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse. Finding the mean. Mean means average. So if it says find the mean, like in example 3, page 104, you add up all of the temperatures, there are 5 of them, and you divide by 5 because there are 5 temperatures. Add the numbers and divide by how many numbers you have. That's how you find the mean or the average. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to work this problem. Okay, depending on the problem, one way may be easier than the other, but you need to know both of them. Since this is 36x minus 24 divided by 6, you have 2 options. Option number 1 is to split those 2 apart and go 36x divided by 6 minus 24 divided by 6. Then you would say 36 divided by 6, well, that's 6. There's that x still. 24 divided by 6, that's 4. That's one option to work it. That is the correct answer. Now let me show you option 2. Option 2 says, well, dividing by 6 is the same as multiplying by 1/6. So 1/6 times 36x minus 24, and then you distribute. 1/6 times 36 is 6x. 1/6 times 24 is 4. Same answer, two different ways. On page 105, at the bottom of the page, there's a chart. This chart is sort of a summary of everything with adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing, okay? It's a little bit hard to understand, but I'm pretty sure you could understand it. So let's talk about it. The first thing in the green box says your answer is positive if. And then it gives you an example. If you're adding A and B, you get a positive answer if the number with the greatest absolute value is positive. For instance, 7 plus -3 is 4. This absolute value is bigger than this absolute value, so of course you get a positive answer. That's what they're saying. Then look at the next column. Negative. If A plus B, the number with the greater absolute value is negative. So if you had -7 plus 3 equals -4, you would get -4 because this absolute value is greater than this absolute value, and it's a negative number. That's kind of how the chart works. You would get 0 if A and B are additive inverses. Additive inverses are like -7 plus 7. That would give you 0. So this chart is sort of summing up all of the rules for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing positive and negative numbers. You need to find out if you can understand what they're saying on the next column, which is A minus B, the third column, which is A times B, and the fourth column, which is A divided by B. Put in some real numbers to help yourself understand this chart. Okay, here is a problem that is worked out, but it has a mistake. Can you find the mistake? This is the original problem. This is the working out of the problem. What is the mistake? Find the mistake and correct it to get the right answer. If you said the mistake was that this should not be -6, you are right. That should be +6. There's no negative down here on this 6. That should be +6. Here's the right answer. Two different ways it can be worked out. You can work it out by changing that divide by 6 to times 1/6, or you can split them apart and divide. Both are correct. Both are perfectly good ways. The right answer is 2 minus 3x. Here's the last part of video homework. Make sure you get all 3 parts of video homework done. Make sure you write the problem down. Make sure you show work. Bring it tomorrow. Have a great evening.